Hi yogis, I'm Nicole. Welcome to My Yoga Time. Thanks for joining me today. I have a therapeutic practice for you tailored for those suffering with a frozen shoulder. So most commonly experienced between the ages of 40 to 60, especially common in menopausal women in the right shoulder. So 3 stages to your frozen shoulder. We have the freezing stage where we experience the majority of the pain, mostly at night. And it's also when we start to lose that mobility and range of motion. We have the frozen stage where the pain can start to subside, but the shoulder's not gaining any movement at all. And then we have the thawing stage where we're starting to gain a little bit more mobility. The whole process can last anywhere from 12 to 18 months, unfortunately. And there is a tendency to not move the arm because it's hurting. That's the worst thing you can do. You need to keep that joint moving. We don't want to experience any sharp pain. So if you are experiencing any sharp stabbing like pain, you need to ease off whatever it is you're doing. Avoid lifting heavy things with that arm and certainly avoid holding any weight with the arms overhead. So we want to feel into the tension, into that sensation when we're moving the arm, but again, we want to avoid pain. So we will use the wall for one exercise today and also a strap. If you don't have a yoga strap, then you can improvise with a belt, a strap, anything to hold on to. So it's really helpful to warm the shoulder before exercise. So you can do that with a heat pack, of course, or some very gentle movement. So to begin with, we'll do the pendulum. I'm just going to demonstrate with my left shoulder today. So you can do this over a chair, or you can just simply bend at the knees, rest your opposite hand on the knee and let that arm hang. And then just tracing small circles. So allowing that arm to give in to gravity and then moving your circles in the opposite direction. So if we don't move it, we lose it. If we don't move the body, then we lose that range of movement. So it's really important, even though the shoulder's aggravated, that you practice these exercises if you can every day. And then let's roll on up to stand. So if you can, interlace those fingers and bring your hands to your chin. As you inhale, see if you can lift up those elbows. And then as you exhale, lower them down. We'll do a couple more. Well done, yogis. Using the wall now, stand with your left hip touching the wall. We'll practice this with both arms. Begin with the arm in a right angle. If you can, elbow at shoulder height. If you need to go lower, that's okay. Be careful that you're not arching the back. We want to point the tailbone down and gently press the opposite fingers into the wall as you look over the shoulder. So this is quite intense, especially on that rotator cuff. And sometimes it's those prolonged rotator cuff injuries that can manifest into a frozen shoulder. From here, we'll straighten the arm. Press the pads of the fingers into the wall. See if you can turn the eye of the elbow to face the wall and guide the shoulder down. So this one is not only therapeutic for the rotator cuff, but also the brachial nerve plexus, which is a cluster of nerves we have in the shoulder. So this particular exercise targets all of those nerves, helping them to slide and glide. And let's release, come off the wall, give the shoulders a bit of a roll. You may notice more space on one side to the other. And then when you're ready, we'll take a few breaths with the arm in the right angle position. If you can, looking over your shoulder, trying to turn away from the wall. And straighten out the arm, spread the fingers wide, press the pads of the fingers into the wall, turn the eye of the elbow to face the wall and guide the shoulder down. And coming off the wall, give your shoulders a little roll. And we'll take a hold of our strap next. So just letting that strap drape over the right shoulder. We will do this exercise on both sides. Interlace the hands behind you and take your hands over to the right. Point your elbow to the right. Just allow the ear to drop towards the shoulder and diagonally lift the chin. You should feel a nice stretch from the jaw down to the collarbone. And then from here, bring the head to an upright position. You can use your right hand to lift that left arm if you're able to. Now we've got the strap here. Depending on where you are in your frozen shoulder stage, lifting that arm up might not be an option, in which case just take it out to the side for the strap. Otherwise, if you're able to have the arm up, do so, or some of you might even be able to clasp those fingers. So working with your body, it doesn't matter if your body's not taking the same shape as mine, just do whatever movement you can. And let's release, well done. Give the shoulders a roll once again, and then we'll move the strap over to the other side. When you're ready, interlace the fingers, elbow points to the left, head turns to the left, and then drop the ear towards the shoulder. Bringing the head back into that upright position. Again, if you can, use your left hand to better position the right arm, taking a hold of the strap if you need to, and finding that comfortable position with the left arm. Maybe the arm's a little lower. The elbow doesn't have to point to the ceiling. Try to point the tailbone down here. Avoid overarching in the low back. And let's release. Well done, yogis. Place your strap to the floor. Little roll again for those shoulders. And then from here, we'll take the hands behind us, interlace those fingers. As you inhale, chin lift, throat forward. See if you can straighten the arms and move the hands away from the bottom. And then as you exhale, look down, relax the shoulders, allow the back to round. Inhale, chin lift, throat forward, arms straighten. Exhale, soften. 2 more. Well done, yogis. Little counter stretch now. Let's cross the right arm in front of the left. So here you want to create resistance as though the right arm's trying to escape and the left arm is holding it there. Then guide your shoulder down. Taking a few breaths here. If you are progressing and you're able to go further, you can always bring the back of the palms together or take a full bind, pressing those forearms together. So there's 3 options there. Move into whichever one you can. And then we'll change sides. Inhale and then exhale. Creating that resistance, guiding the shoulder down, maybe binding once or twice. And release. Well done, yogis. Roll out the shoulders. Just one more exercise to do, which will ask a little of the hips. We'll come into a yogi squat. So some of you, if you have a block at home, might prefer to sit on the block just to make the pose a little bit easier. Otherwise, coming down into your yogi squat. What we want to do here is press the elbows into the knees and squeeze the knees into the elbows so you're creating resistance there. Breathe into the tension. Well done, yogis. Let's take a ragdoll. So lift up the hips. Option to hold those elbows and just gently sway from side to side, giving in to gravity. And when you're ready, rolling on up to stand. Well, thank you, yogis, for joining me today. I hope that you find some relief with those exercises. And as mentioned before, you'll get the most benefit if you can practice these every day. Wishing you a speedy, happy recovery. If you haven't done so already, please do subscribe to the channel. It's the best way to support free yoga on YouTube. Have a lovely day.